no good. Sleep's all about too high or too low, and I'm going to show you where your comfort level would be. That's why I invented my pillow.
You know, that feels better.
Right, that's better.
Much better.
You're sleeping better. So every morning you're getting up like... You're getting up like... No, it's not good. Like... You're getting up like...
I was not unmuted. Welcome, chat. How are you? Oh, there's gonna be something that goes wrong at the beginning of my stream. It's inevitable. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for indulging my Mike Pillow obsession. I would like the theme song of my life. Hey, you're that my pillow guy. All right. It's a Friday, chat. It's a Friday. I'm going to talk about some left legal news. Or I guess really it's a analysis from a left legal guy. But we're going to talk about the Activision Blizzard lawsuit, SEC investigation, talk a little bit about some other labor updates, some platform economy updates, and then quite a bit of candy. We will be joined at some point by Rick Angles, and Rick Angles him and I are just gonna shoot the shit, maybe find some other fucking candy to react to, and you know, it's a Friday night. So thank you for joining me, indulging my my streaming. We are one follow away from affiliate, and got to keep up the 3 viewers that we have in chat right now. Get that average up. All right. I got people fucking texting me whenever I feel popular on a Friday night. I'm going to start out with some Activision lawsuit. You got this. Just got mine recently. Haven't streamed since. Well, congrats on reaching affiliate. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be like I reach it and then don't stream for like a week and a half. Thank you. A Marshalls or a Maxinista pickup. I know we have mixed feelings here about Marshalls. And DJ Maxx in the chat. All right, so we're gonna start off with a little bit of the Activision suit from last week and a half, something like that. September 15th, it says. So this is the employment suit. The workers suing Activision for shitty work environment. So we're gonna watch this video from Hogue Law. It's like this like online content creating law firm that we've been looking at every once in a while. They're not like super left, but they do present a good jumping off point. So boom, it worked. I did a thing properly. All right, so we're gonna start here. Rick Angles will join us at some point, and we'll go from there. So it's muted. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Virtual Legality. I'm your host, Richard Hogue, managing member of the Hogue Law business law firm of Northville, Michigan. And it's been a little while since we last talked about the state of California's lawsuit against Activision Blizzard for, among other things, a hostile work environment and inequitable pay. If you aren't familiar with the background to that case, I highly recommend our California versus Activision Blizzard playlist. We go over the initial complaint, Activision's responses or lack thereof in certain important respects. And that's led to, in the past couple of days, a better ABK, which we talk about as a proto-union here in our Week 2 status update on this case, has filed a charge with the National Labor Relations Board. And that charge has been wrongly reported in a couple of places. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what the National Labor Relations Board actually does, why we're not likely to see really anything come out of that charge, but even if we do, not for a very, very long time, and have a conversation about where this puts Activision, especially as they move forward with some big executive changes that happen on the same day. Now, before we get into that substance, I do want to give special thanks to a patron of ours, Nord, who at the highest Patreon tier is sponsoring this video for you all.
Okay,
I told you when we started this month, we have a number of very large of the channel. Now, as I mentioned, there was some misreporting on the topic we're about to discuss today. Here's The Verge. Activision Blizzard sued again, this time for labor violations. IGN. Activision Blizzard employees file NLRB suit.
Yeah, you can't file a suit at the NLRB. They're not a court of law. It's an administrative body. So you file a complaint there with the NLRB, but it's not a lawsuit. It's an administrative process. That's what he's going to get at.
Now, the reason I'm saying here is I am a lawyer, and as you might know from your understanding of the United States government, if you have one, or if it's your first time in virtual legality, we'll help out a little bit here, is that the executive branch, under which the NLRB sits, can't actually initiate a lawsuit, or can't initiate a lawsuit only through its own board. It can, of course, use the court system like anyone else. So when you file something with an agency of the U.S. government in the executive branch, you aren't filing a lawsuit. And so I looked at this from the Virgin IGN and said, that's a little bit odd. And I said, well, maybe they're just misreporting it. But I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. And that benefit of the doubt comes from a better ABK's Twitter itself, which described what just happened as, in partnership with Code-CWA, we've filed an unfair labor practice suit with the National Labor Relations Board.
Couldn't bring yourself to do it. I didn't realize that today, or that had come out yet. I'm sure if Smokey's in the chat, he probably did the same thing, may have pulled the trigger on it, though.
We're going to give The Verge and IGN some credit on all of this. They were using the language that came from a better ABK, and that language just happens to be incorrect, but they aren't lawyers. They're folks that are making Activision, Blizzard, and King video games, so we can also give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, they did point us to the actual National Labor Relations Board charging document, which is, as you would expect, you don't actually see the documents here. You have to make a FOIA request, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it.
There's a signed charge against the employer from a few days ago, And then as of the 13th of September,
Okay,
the
come on, Hogue.
NLRB itself sent letters to both Activision and to the folks that sent the initial charge saying, we're on this. We're going to take a look at it. And what are the allegations? Well, they're all described here. 8A1, which we'll get to in just a second. Coercive statements, coercive rules, coercive actions, parenthetical surveillance, and interrogation, including polling. Now, thankfully, Protocol actually took a look at this as well and figured out that it was, in fact, a charging document and not a lawsuit, and linked to the press release that CWA actually put together. CWA being the Communications Workers of America, a fully fledged union that is helping a better ABK navigate these regulatory waters. And you see this a lot in kind of proto-union environments where folks start getting together at a company like Activision Blizzard, and they start using the resources that they can find from other unions that are generally all too happy to help, as is the case here with CWA. They put out this press release yesterday. It says, in support of game developers at Activision Blizzard King, a cross-platform gaming company based in Santa Monica, the Communication Workers of America has formally filed ULP charges against the company for worker intimidation and union busting. That's unfair labor practices. ABK workers staged a groundbreaking walkout over the summer to draw attention to the disturbing working conditions in the gaming industry at large, including but not limited to ableist, racist, and sexist cultural practices, workplace discrimination, and pay inequity. Despite a risk of retaliation, Activision Blizzard King workers launched a Better ABK on July 23rd as a strategic organizing effort to unite developers behind a shared set of concerns. Employees used their social media platforms to organize with one another and share their demands to the world, including fans, fellow game developers, and consumers. Instead of responding to these demands, Activision Blizzard management is using...
So this is a pretty good example of organizing and, I guess, outlining a process. Hello, analysis, please. Welcome. Outlining kind of a process by which, you could organize in your own place of work. So there are unions out there that will be similar to, or they will capture the work that you may be doing, and they going to them after you've kind of gotten a group in your own figured out some like-minded people in your workforce that you could organize with. You go to a bigger and in this case a broad union that's covering communication workers across America, and you kind of like go to them for support and kind of to like almost mentor you through the process. And I think that like not enough people talk about how to start a union. It's just like organize in your workforce. Like, okay, what does that do? You have to go to these other more established organizations to give you guidance.
Coercive tactics to attempt to prevent its employees from exercising their rights to stand together and demand a more equitable, sustainable, and diverse workplace. It is their right as workers to organize for a work environment free from abuse, discrimination, and sexual harassment, and this right is...
Smokey, I meant to send it to you the other day. It was I don't know if it was a TikTok or just a picture, but it was a girl playing Breath of the Wild, like sitting at a bar with her boyfriend.
Protected by federal labor law. Tom Smith, National Organizing Director at CWA, said, "We are very inspired by the bravery of ABK workers, and we will always stand shoulder to shoulder with workers fighting harassment, assault, and discrimination. Management could have responded with humility and a willingness to take necessary steps to address the horrid conditions some ABK workers have faced. Instead, Activision Blizzard's response to righteous worker activity was surveillance, intimidation, and hiring notorious union busters." Now, you won't actually see their hiring of Wilmer Hale in that charging document that we'll take a look at more specifically in just a second, because that isn't something that's illegal. It's not illegal to go hire a law firm, even if they have a reputation for helping large corporations, quote-unquote, bust unions. The National Labor Relations Board under the Biden administration has made it clear that it will hold companies accountable whenever they break the law. We have filed these charges to ensure that the actions of ABK management will not go unanswered. So nothing terribly...
Hold on, chat. I think we have Rick with us. Rick, can you hear me? Hold on, I may have to.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Rick, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh,
I
hold
coming
on.
through?
Can you hear me, Rick? Oh, I could hear you now. Okay, that was on my end. Hold on. Now I need to make it so the people could hear you. I fucked up. Papa, can you hear me? Bear with me, chat. Rick, speak.
Speaking. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you fine.
Listen to
I'm
soothing sounds.
Smokey. Can you hear Rick Angles? Chat, can you hear another person other than me when he speaks? Rick, speak.
I'm speaking right now.
Quietly. Okay. Rick, speak.
Speaking.
Papa, can you hear me? Much better? Okay.
Cool.
All right. So we were watching the Hogue Law. They're kind of boring, but they lay out the facts, and sometimes we got to do boring things. So we're watching this and fucking going through it. I'm probably going to shut the fuck. What? So we got to watch some boring things. So we're outlining how I dropped my phone. We're outlining how or Hogue Law here is outlining what happened with the Activision, not a suit in the NLRB, because you can't sue the NLRB is not a court, so you can't sue someone there. You file a complaint in an administrative process. So CWA, which is Communications Workers of America, which is a union, is filing these claims against Activision Blizzard management on behalf of the ABK, or what are they, like, make better ABK, something like that. I forget. The Activision Blizzard King, like, workers, a better ABK, that's what it is. Like their little, like, proto union, as Hogue Law is calling it. But we're gonna get through this. We'll go through a few other articles, and then I mostly got candy. I got some fun things to watch, I think. And then
yummy.
and then chat, send me any candy you got. It's a Friday fun stream.
Unusual here for a union statement on this kind of activity. They filed a charging document with the National Labor Relations Board alleging these things, and we can see those allegations a little bit more specifically in the document itself, which is linked out of that press release. Now, they put the Activision Blizzard address and the CEO, and there's a lot of workers there. And here's the important part, the basis of the charge.
Smokey, don't invite any children into the candy van, okay? All right? The government won't like that. Too late.
Within the last 6 months, the above-named employer, that's Activision Blizzard to you and me, has repeatedly engaged in unlawful conduct by threatening employees in the exercise of the rights guaranteed by Section 7. We'll get there. The employer has threatened employees that they cannot talk about.
Not
or
gonna lie, this
communicate
guy's
about
voice gives me
wages,
seriously
hours,
Ben
and-
Shabibo vibes.
Ben Shabibo vibes. I found, and maybe I'll find it again. We may even drop this, and we might just go to fun things. Because fuck the video. Let's talk about it. We'll read this, and we'll get to the fun things quicker. So, Activision Blizzard's their little proto union is suing or is not suing. It is filed complaint in the NLRB. That's all we need to know right now. Okay? They filed it for Activision's shitty workplace practices. So Rick, what I was saying earlier is one thing it did outline is like a good way for, or like models a good way to go about organizing a workplace in going to like they went to the Communication Workers of America, essentially for guidance and to like file the claim on their behalf, because they have some, they have power already, and it's all about like building upon the power that we have, and and the leverage in a certain sector, that has already been gained. So then, now the SEC filed a complaint on my behalf. The SEC is now also separately investigating Activision Blizzard over sexual misconduct allegations and improper disclosures. So
That's who will, they might actually do something
well, yeah, and I figured you're more familiar with the SEC than me, or I would assume.
to some extent.
So what do you think? What do you think might come of this?
I mean, most likely the SEC is just going to fine them and make Bobby Kotick step down to some extent, because ultimately they're a toothless organization like any other monitoring group that looks at large companies like Activision. And I'm sure, it's going to be shitty for Bobby, but by and large,
Bobby's gonna take a
Activision's
big hit.
yeah, Activision, its stock price will go down for the next couple months, and then it'll rally, it'll pay a fine of some sort, and then everyone will kind of move on, and that'll be that. And I think that's about as extreme as you'll see anything the SEC will do. I mean,
I think
you
you're
had
right.
Elon straight up manipulating openly stock market prices, and the SEC, made him step down as CEO and pay a hefty fine, but that was as extreme as that got. So I don't know that they're going to do anything more than that here.
Yeah,
They
and
care
like,
more about financials than anything else.
and their fines, and all of these bodies' fines are pretty much built in to the the company's like business expenses at this point. You could pretty much whatever size company you are, whatever sector you're in, your risk manager can easily look at like what possible fines you could get, and you just fucking put that into the budget.
Yeah,
So
very very possible that they already have carved out a significant chunk of cash from their forecasts just for the purpose of potentially paying any litigation or fines that are going to come out of this.
yeah, and like most companies do have like a litigation budget that they've budgeted for any particular reason, and they're making that assessment on what is going on in the field and what they've done in the past. So this is pretty much the same thing, just your administrative action budget essentially, or just built into that litigation budget, and
Yeah.
you could pretty much predict what the SEC would ever fine you, and it's never going to be enough to really hurt the bottom line and change behavior.
No, and I mean, what else are they going to do? I'm sure Activision's fired anyone that's like directly named in anything at this point because they've had to have. So unless Bobby and the rest of the senior leadership, directly covered up some of this stuff and like there was things like purposefully done to cover it up. I can't see anything more than, maybe him, a couple other people around him getting canned and a fine.
He's gotten subpoenaed. So,
Yeah.
there's not much here. This is kind of, excuse me, this is pretty standard. And his lawyers are going to be scrambling to, for whatever particular reason, find an exemption to turning over certain files. And
Yeah, of course.
you could put fucking GIFs in the comments. Hilarious. Do you see this? All right.
That's a great reaction gif. Any Gene Wilder is probably a great gif.
Yeah. And this movie is just fantastic. All right. So, we're going to watch this. This is I'm going to pause him, even though he's muted. This is a real estate investor that has recently, outed some business practices of Zillow. And I'll find the article. I think it was a Forbes article or Bloomberg. That there's been some heat that Zillow's taken because of it. I don't, no government actions as of yet. You can GIF in the I know, I assume that on Reddit, but that was a Verge article. I expected some sort of moderation or something, some sort of tools to block people from putting weird ass GIFs. So this guy's outing their business practice, and we'll read through it, but this to me highlights what the platform economy is. And I've been trying to discuss that on stream, and I've been pushing Rick Angles to understand it better, because I think it will be it'll be important pretty much for everyone. Rick, let me know if you could see my screen through Skype.
Yeah, that's working perfect.
Okay. So this guy is an investor, and I don't know how to use TikTok.
I've been a real estate agent for about 11 years now. And let's talk about the housing crisis. And let's talk about some what ifs. What if there was a company that everybody knew of
I like that.
to look for
Oh,
houses.
there we go.
And everybody goes on there and
He had this spot on his shirt that he was really upset about. I'm surprised he didn't redo the whole video with a new shirt. Just saying.
searches for houses when they're bored and stuff.
I would have.
And so that
I
company,
would've
they
too.
just sit back and they just collect all the data. They just know what zip code is looking at what zip code and how much those people can afford. Everyone's looking at this one zip code and everybody seems to be able to afford this certain amount. And let's say that $1 billion company uses that information to go into that zip code and start purchasing houses. Because the people that are selling their houses, even though they sell it for a little bit less sometimes than what the home could actually be worth, and they pay these high fees to this $1 billion company, it's a convenience factor. So this company's scooping up houses less than what they actually could cost. And let's say that company,
Agreed.
excuse me, Canute, that company buys 30 homes within a 2-mile radius. And let's say the price is $300,000. So they buy all of these homes for $300,000. And then on the 31st home, they buy it for $340,000, even though they know all of the comps, because most people have to get a loan. And if you get a loan, you have to get an appraisal, which means the appraiser is going to look at what homes have sold in the area for that size and that price per square foot. So they're paying cash. They don't need an appraisal. Why would they pay $340,000 for this 31st home whenever they've only paid $300,000 for these others? Well, what that just did is create a new comp. So when they go to sell these other 30 homes, that extra $40,000 that you could say this one sold for $340 just made them $1.2 million off that one neighborhood, because they know from their research how much people can afford in that zip code. Weird. And let's say that then they're going to come in. They bought that home at $340 that still needs work. So they're going to come in and do the good old paint, spackle, and change the carpet and call it a remodel. So now we can sell them for $360. Because we know, off of our data, that's how much people can afford. Wouldn't that be weird if a company did that? And then say that this company also starts letting you use their own lenders and their own title and escrow company, and makes you write your contract on their contract, not the one that your state uses. Wouldn't that be a weird world to live in? My goodness, I can't imagine us living in that world.
So one thing I want to point out is that it is, he's being slightly hyperbolic of being able to, get the profit off that $40,000 increase, because you're probably not going to sell based on, one house changing in that area, the comp going up 40,000. But obviously he's creating this like hypothetical, and I'm sure in certain areas, because of other houses going up, it's going to change. But to me, it's, the big things to point out is using the data for this particular purpose, and then, what we'll describe later as like the vertical coordination from Zillow. So, Rick, I have invited you on in a way to push you into this, to reading about this stuff and learning more about the platform economy. So, I'm putting you on the hot seat. When you think of platform economy, what do you think of?
Platform economy?
Yeah, or you may hear it
I
as
think-
like the gig economy.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought you were referring to.
Yeah, they're like
yeah.
interchangeable. Platform tends to capture more business models.
Right. You're using some sort of web-based, probably, or app-based type platform, I would imagine, is the definition of that. I think it's a dark trend when it comes to where we are in our current society. I think you're going to see more and more people arguing for these types of jobs, and a lot of people buy the idea that it's good for labor to have all of these options where you get to set your own hours and things like that, or you're driving your value. How it applies to the housing market in this way is an interesting idea. The thing. Go ahead. The thing about it though is that, like, even without these platforms that are feeding this data to these corporations, it doesn't matter what they even get, if they even have that data. They can do whatever they want, essentially. If you have enough capital to buy up an entire neighborhood, you can then pick and choose who lives in that neighborhood, and like you can do that with larger. It goes even larger. Like, look at what happened with Silicon Valley. That's not deliberate in that people purposefully drove the value of that land up, more than it would be worth elsewhere. But it's a similar symptom where you have these homes that are going to be like way overvalued, and it's just going to create more poverty and essentially continue to drive class divide while enriching the people at the top just even more.
So, like one of the reason I think this video is interesting, and considering something like Zillow in the platform economy, or even just pushing on the idea of what the gig economy is, the gig economy is really a subsect of the platform economy. So I think you need to think of platform as broader. And so one of the in like the discourse of this platform economy, there's this idea of a two-sided market, and I'd be interested in your job if you've like heard this term, but the two-sided market being like it really comes out of this case called Ohio v. Amex. It was, I think, 2018. In that in that case, Amex is trying to say that their business model is this two-sided market where they're the intermediary, and this is an argument that Uber makes as well, as intermediary between vendors and their end consumers. So that's one of the there's a lot of back and forth on whether that's good to describe the model that way, like good legally, to make like legal arguments off of, but it is in a sense like a reality of what is happening. So looking at anything where there's a model such as that, where they're acting as an intermediary, is definitely something you could call a platform. And then another definition would be almost in a sense, Disney is a platform, because it's like gobbled up all these different smaller businesses, what we would think of a monopoly, gobbling them up through contract arrangements, purchases, mergers, whatever. And then, they're offering as a mediary to these other services. So Zillow is doing the same thing, where they're buying up these adjustment agencies and whatever, contracting with them, and then like no matter what, the money is all coming up to them, and the consumer side, they are subject to like adhesion contracts that Zillow is creating, and they're only in Zillow's best interest, but you're kind of forced into signing them to fucking purchase a house because Zillow has bought all the houses in your fucking neighborhood. So that was kind of like an all over there description, but to me it's just kind of push on this idea of how our economy is changing, and like how these different service models, or even companies that control so much data, are growing in a way that they are kind of centralizing the control in a certain sector of the market.
Yeah, and I mean, they're using it as a way of trying to make things seem like they're more fair than they really are, right? Like that's what the point of that two-sided market is trying to push. It's trying to create this idea that like you're just trying to driven by capitalism, trying to find what the best price point is that makes everyone happy. But when you're the person that's doing that and controlling the price point without people knowing, like for the Zillow example, like they're doing, that's taking advantage directly of your consumer and the labor that's producing a lot of the work when you talk about things like Uber.
Yeah, and one of the things that maybe we could pop to, is it this one? No, it's this one. So Vina Dubal is I believe she's a professor of law, but she does a lot of, is it her that does, she uses like a lot of anthropology in her laws or her analysis as well, but she writes a lot about the gig economy and the platform economy. So everyone out there, she's a based person. Definitely someone to look at. But so, New York City delivery workers win a right to better tips, bathrooms, and more. So, we'll read her article, but this brings up a different point that kind of feeds into the notion of the platform economy is, Zillow is able to buy and then like set prices down the supply chain, you know, and that is not considered any sort of antitrust violation because now it's all within firm. They're not working outside the firm boundaries. They're staying within the firm, so they can pretty much set the price all that they want, even if they are interacting with independent contractors or like independent businesses that you would think in theory would be able to make their own like independent decisions. But when then a group of workers, so in the Uber context, it's easy. It's the drivers. The Zillow, it might be just the different rating agencies that are contracting with Zillow. If they wanted to get together and set their own price, or if these Uber drivers want to get together and say, we're not going to drive unless we get 30% of, each ride, which I think is still higher than what they probably get.
Yeah.
That's an antitrust violation. So there's the left we've been pushing for, labor movements, but one thing I've noticed, and this is kind of like this distinction of vertical versus horizontal, the horizontal being like a group of drivers getting together because they're all independent, separate businesses. So horizontal rather than up the supply chain. I realized what I just did on camera. And so, this is like born out of the 1970s, like conservative movement. If you want to look into this and, maybe this is something we'll do on stream. The rise of franchises in the 70s kind of helped lay the groundwork for the model that we see now. I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, so that like we need to be mindful of the intersecting laws that revolve around labor. So we need to be cognizant of this antitrust, especially so like the game plan essentially for the right was make switch from an employee model to an independent contractor model so that they're all businesses. And then so that's in the labor section. But then on like the antitrust strain, it was make a privileged vertical coordination because we think that's most efficient, while penalizing horizontal coordination amongst now this dispersed workforce that are all now working for themselves, so that we could continue to allow firms to grow while continuing to fight against worker organization, because we've decided now that's separate business entities fucking colluding together and trying to price fix, or it's building cartels.
Yeah. I mean, it's a convenient way to stamp out labor. They kind of stumbled upon it too.
Not really. If you trace the history, you could pretty much find I would say the businesses kind of stumbled upon it, but the fucking puppet masters behind the scenes, like the policymakers, knew what they were doing. And the policymakers that, when Uber fought against, because, Uber was doing illegal stuff in San Francisco when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were like lobbying against the government, like, you know, those policymakers decided to go along with the project pretty much.
That's true.
And I feel winded after that. All right, we're going to go to candy now. And if anyone out there has videos, Smokey, if you're out there, give me videos. Dude, this
Guy's a
guy's
great
moves.
dancer.
I'll share it with him. Do we see how lightning fast?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
This guy is like an Irish dancer or something.
Nah, they look like they're Middle Eastern. They might be Turks. All right. I don't know if you know, but it was San Gennaro down in Little Italy this weekend. This
It's
past
always
week.
a fun time.
Always a fun fucking packed time. So I can't imagine how it would be with COVID.
I bet COVID loves it.
Yeah, COVID is a big fan of San Gennaro, of just like Italians and just like random New Yorkers and tourists spewing particles at each other on a tiny ass like Manhattan alley street. Fucking Mulberry Street is
Tiny.
chat. It's a very, very tiny street. All right, so
It's
here's
old New
side
York.
talk. Bing
What
bong.
about mother? I'm an honorary Italian today. We at the feast.
Hey, yo, all I know in Italian is pizza, you heard?
My servant is squid out here. He's wildin'.
I'm wildin'!
It's hot as balls out here in New York City. My name is Kai. My name is Kai. Just write down my number and then we gonna link up tonight, all right? 347-528. Oh my God. Adam Sandler?
But for real, does that not look like Rob McElroy?
I see the similarities.
Dude, like, that looks exactly like him. Ready? I don't know how
He
to
looks
spell
he looks
Irish.
he looks a little bit more like Jason, what's his name? The guy from Mallrats and oh, shit. Now I gotta look it up. I'll find it.
Come on. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that.
No. Look up Jason. Look up young Jason Lee. It's
Jason
closer.
Lee.
Yeah.
No. No way.
Yeah.
This dude's like shredded and shit. This is a hot guy under here.
No.
All right. Well,
Hello,
whatever.
say hello. Do
Agree to
not let the
disagree.
friend.
We will.
Don't play with a nigga like me. You feel me? Word. What's up?
What's up?
What y'all eat right here?
What? Oh,
Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert on Mulberry
Okay.
Street.
okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think the Channel 5 guys are pissed that everyone's
No.
aped their style?
Andrew said that like he digs it.
All right.
I mean, this guy's doing he's got his like niche version of it, you know.
What y'all eat right here?
It as the
Yo, I got
as the
some.
host and
Come on, give me that. You word.
and
I'm
much
outta
more
here
in
now.
the
Give me
action
the
than.
food. If you not
I can't hear you.
Oh really?
Well, you're just quieter on my end than the video.
Got it.
These two women are fantastic.
If you not inventing nuts house, where the fuck you at?
Get your fucking nuts over here before I fuck you up.
Hey, let's be honest.
That is like the most Italian woman ever. The most Italian New York woman. She'll fucking crush your nuts.
She'll do more than that.
Bro, I know this is rigged.
No.
Yes. I'ma see you tonight, alright?
You got it.
Indeed, you got it. You go, girl. You go, girl. How you say boo boo? How you say boo boo? Indeed, boo boo. Wait, where you say?
This guy's like super up in people's face though. I'm just getting a little like uncomfortable about the personal space.
Doesn't give a shit about the personal space. I'm putting you up on the. We're learning things, chat, as I go. I should be able to hear dick angles now. A little better. Did you see the Chet Hanks Channel 5 video?
Yes. Oh my god.
Well, we're just gonna watch it. It's so good.
Oh boy. I don't know how he wasn't stopped from doing that by someone.
No, so Channel 5. Hassan was gonna interview him on Fear and Malding, but chat talked him out of it. So he told Andrew to do this.
That's hilarious. I did not know that was the genesis of it, but
Yeah.
still, I think it's great that like no one in the Hanks family was able to stop this from happening.
Oh,
like they
oh.
should be entirely invested in keeping him away from any sort of recording device for the rest of their existence.
But he does a lot of shit, man. You know? And like yeah. We'll watch.
I was hooking up with this chick. One day, she was on the phone with her family in Jamaica, and she was really in the middle of a heated conversation. Tell that pussy clot girl me know what. I really had no idea what the fuck she was saying. And her friend said, "Fi me picnic in the car with me so me can't chat." I'm like, wow. So wait, break that down. So then she started breaking down a lot of shit. I'm like, how do you say this? John no star. How do you say that? Oh, like 7. Oh. She was
like,
just telling me
do
how to
you
say
believe
different
he's saying real things?
Yeah, he is. He's speaking
he?
like he's speaking patois. Like legit is saying, you know, words in patois.
All right.
So in Hassan's chat, there's a whole big fucking like, you know, a learning that chat had to do that, you know, a lot of like certain cultural appropriation is not like cultural appropriation. Like and none of it is at the level of blackface.
No.
And
Yeah,
like,
that's a whole.
Yeah. And a lot of people were upset. And his example was like he got shit on by like the left for wearing a kimono one time in an Instagram photo. And like Japanese people were like, no, like that's awesome. We love when you wear shit like that. But it was like, you know, rad lib Japanese Americans and just like rad libs in general that had a sissy fit.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, there's a, what is it in the legal system? There's levels to
Different levels of scrutiny.
To your cultural appropriation offense.
Yeah. And blackface is just like next level.
Yeah, that's the class 1.
shit. So like for like a week, like I was really on a Jamaican tip, and that just happened to be the week of the.
A Jamaican tip is just like a great string of words.
Golden Globes.
I would kill to hear Tom Hanks' like inner thoughts about Chet.
And like, you know, we'll get to it when he talks about his parents, but it blows my mind that Tom Hanks sent his son to like fucking you know, one of the camps that Paris Hilton went to.
Mm-hmm.
Coming straight from that Golden Globes, you want to big up, tune in.
I turned my phone on and the video had gone totally viral.
Yeah, that's Chet, you guys. I am shook, and frankly,
And this was my favorite part that Hassan pointed out, or someone in chat did, and he pointed it out afterwards. This woman, this like very like liberal like woke capitalist woman, is getting upset about Chet speaking patois while she's saying things like "I'm shook" and "hella." Yeah, just like using AAVE.
Yeah. Yeah.
While being upset of this other white guy, like essentially doing the same thing.
Yeah, but that's just like people still don't really recognize the full extent that like culture just steals from black culture.
Exactly. And they like think that everyone was getting upset about this, so like we have to get upset about this, and then you know they're fucking tone deaf, fucking writers room just writes shit like this.
Hella confused.
Hella confused.
It's just
Hella confused.
like why? I just don't get why.
Appropriation.
I had Jamaicans blowing up my Instagram. Respect, General. We're gonna come to the island. You know what I mean? The Jamaican people showed me the most love, hands down.
He commits.
All these social.
He commits. Like you gotta give him credit. He commits.
He's fantastic. He's not gonna back down. He's going to continue to speak patois his entire life.
Not a hesitation.
Social justice warriors in America saying that I'm a fucking villain.
How do you feel about the idea of cultural appropriation overall?
I don't fucking know, dude. If I'm interested in fucking bullfighting, I can fly to Spain and go watch a bullfight. And if I want to go talk to a matador and say, hey, bro, can you teach me how to fucking fight the bulls? And he's like, hell yeah, bro. Here, put this on. He's stoked that I'm stoked, right? Some asshole out there is gonna say I'm fucked up because I'm culturally appropriating the matador culture. But I'm not even like mad though, because all these haters, they're on the way out, dude. There's more people that fuck with what the fuck I'm saying than there's people that are angry about what the fuck y'all talking about, and that's a motherfucking fact.
Big up the whole island, them man.
Just don't do that. Don't even do that.
Why not?
You just need to practice before you go on like a stage like that.
Big up to you, them?
No, don't do that, dude.
How did I do it wrong? I don't understand.
Big up, say it with passion, bro. Big up the youth, them.
Big up the youth, them.
How much coke you think that and like just uppers Chet's on? Like he's got veins ready to pop.
This man is fueled by drugs.
No, but like honestly, after because obviously I've watched this already, and you've watched this. When the point where he talks about his dad having him get kidnapped and he goes to the camp, it's obvious that this dude's been on Adderall his whole life. So he's probably just like snorting it at this point, like fucking Vyvanse 50s. Like that's what's responsible for a lot of this.
No, you're 100% right.
He was like one of the first Adderall kids. Especially with his dad being who he was. This dude's been on Vyvanse 50s since he was like 3.
Oh God.
I think we almost sounded the same.
I think I did it a little better.
Can you coach him through
This is starting to stress me out.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Such a princess too.
With Andrew Callahan.
So what was it like for you growing up as the son of a prominent celebrity?
And it was really kind of like a double-edged sword. People assume, I just lived this life, like super privileged life, like Richie Rich, you know what I mean? And that just wasn't the case. And it was actually the opposite.
Damn, I got these bitches shook. Damn, I can read you like a book.
They never fucking gave me an allowance. I don't know if I'm the brokest rich kid or the richest broke kid. I love my mom and dad a lot, but it was kind of inevitable that
he's trapped in like a 17-year-old boy's mind. Especially talking about even talking about his parents, it might be more of like he's trapped in like an 8-year-old's mind.
I just like that he's like, I'm not privileged.
Yeah.
Yes, he lives in like what appears to be a very nice apartment that like you have no discernible job or skills or way of producing enough income to afford that.
Like he's got club promoter vibes.
Oh, 100%.
That's the only thing he could feasibly do,
I mean,
other
that's
than
what
like
he would
making
be.
music videos.
That's what he would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. If he like still had this like rebel attitude and he was like born to any other family, this man is a club promoter. Or just one of the Hoff twins.
An allowance. I don't know if I'm the brokest rich kid or the richest broke kid. I love my mom
I love
and dad
Andrew.
a lot, but it was kind of inevitable that I rebelled because they had me like on a really short leash. They're like really like goody square, you know, Boy Scout,
Dude.
Eagle Scout, Scouts Honor type people.
That,
You know
that
what I mean?
short
And that was
leash
never my
was
vibe.
like he
For
threw
example,
a
like when I got
rager
caught
with
smoking.
like 100 kids or some shit.
Yeah. If
He,
he
like,
went to
trashed one of their houses or
150,
something.
yeah, 150 was a no-no. But if he kept it 100 of his closest friends at like, you know, the house in the valley or some shit, he'd be good.
Totally.
Smoking weed,
Totally
right?
what happened.
My mom was out in absolute hysterics.
This is my oh, damn it. I didn't pause it well. This is my favorite photo of him. God, not this
My
one.
mom was out in absolute
This one. This is just fantastic, like 2006, 7, like, you know, doing coke, doing drugs, like white boy party look. He also looks like he could be in Fight Club.
I just think like Vin Diesel.
Yeah, that, but that's like part of that height of that.
Like, yeah, that is that time. That is
Yeah.
that time. You're not wrong.
Don Toretto look.
Hysterics. Oh God! You know what I mean? Like it was bad. I got sent away to a fucking wilderness program when I was 17. It was 4 a.m. The lights flip on. There's 2 huge dudes in my room.
This is one of the most fucked up things that exists in our country.
It's so bad. It
is so bad. And like
It's so bad. And these kids are already so fucked in the head.
Yeah,
and then
like
to do this to them, like, oh my god.
someone like him, Paris Hilton, you know, Brace's story with it is fucked up too. Brace was at one of these from True and
Any
On.
of the kids, even the poor kids that go to these, like,
Yeah.
the kids that aren't like super rich celebrity kids, they're in bad shape. Like,
But you have to have some sort of wealth to go there, because like you essentially
Yeah, you're
pay
right.
tuition.
You're
So
right,
it's
they are
not like poor, like on the street kids. It's, you know,
No,
from
no,
like
no.
probably, you know,
like
the privilege that we grew up with and up. You know, or it's like those type of people have access to it, but you know, like upper middle class, those people aren't going to it. Streets are their fucking wilderness camp.
Builder looking like bouncer types, bald heads. They're like, "You're coming with us. We can do this the easy way or the hard way." And they just, you know, put me in the back of a car and drove me out.
Like, this scared straight notion just is ridiculous to me. And the fact, like, you would put your child through this much trauma. This is, like, look at how this fucking dude came out, you know? Some people are going to come out all right, but that's a lot of trauma you got to deal with.
It's just like, it's like looking at your kid and being like, I guess I gotta fuck him up more.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, part of
don't
it is like
lot.
you can't recognize yourself that you are one of the reasons that your child is this way. It's like your parenting or like the context in which you birthed this child and tried to raise them, and then like your reaction to, you know, your child's misbehavior is only what's just perpetuating that misbehavior. And so I'm sure Tom Hanks did not have the fucking patience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Yeah, well,
true.
that's like it all depends on like when the acting out happens, you know? If it's happening like as they're applying to colleges, then you're going to military college. But if it's when you're like 14 years old and you're still in high school, you're going to wilderness camp, motherfucker, you know? We're going to fucking kidnap you in the middle of the night. And it's like really just like this, you're accepting defeat, but, you know, again, there's no recognition of like, not that like this is your fault, but like is a product of, you know, your actions.
Yeah.
to the middle of nowhere. This was in my junior year of high school, and I never returned.
The
You
editing's
ever feel
fantastic.
like you wish you had different parents?
No, never. Sometimes I just wish that I could have like been more anonymous.
Do you think you would have succeeded to the same degree on social media if you were a blank slate?
More
Probably not.
anonymous.
That's why I'm saying it has pros and cons. It has advantages and disadvantages. You know what I mean?
How many people recognize
assume
this guy
that because
on the daily basis? Maybe one.
I mean, like prior to
I would not.
Yeah, prior to like his more recent shit, no way. We had a kid snap during the second week of being a rook on campus and strangle a cadre, steal his credit card, and jump onto the freight train that runs through campus. Yeah, I would suspect that like each year there's, or at least every other year there's something like that happens.
Yeah.
You're putting certain people through a lot of trauma and stress in situations like that. Everyone's got a breaking point.
it's like my dad is super famous, that like everybody would like want to be my friend and be like kissing my ass, and that just wasn't the case. If I walk into a room and someone's like, "Oh, you know who that is? That's Tom Hanks' son." The logical reaction is for someone to assume that like I must be like a real cocky, arrogant, spoiled brat, like piece of shit. Like people were inclined to hate my guts.
Oh.
I just internalized it,
That's
and it
terrible.
just develops me to kind of like have a really negative chip on my shoulder, and be very kind of like defensive, just on edge around like meeting new people.
Pussy clot. Fuck them, Ross. Donald no one around but big boss man Biden.
So thinking back to your earliest memories in life, what is the earliest instance you can remember that someone treated you super weird because you were Tom Hanks' son?
I was nice with Foursquare. I beat this kid in a game of Foursquare, and he got super pissed that I beat him. And he was like,
I was nice with Foursquare. Like it's a fantastic line. It's gold. No one else can come up with that. Who else has thought of Foursquare since like 2002?
Exactly. Actually, I played Foursquare kind of recently, but
Really? I'm kind of jealous because
Yeah,
I was
this
thinking
past
back and I was like, I was pretty nice with Foursquare too.
yeah,
It's a damn
I was
fun game.
The spinning serve.
Are
Getting
you
with
getting
that
fancy
corner,
with it?
through the corner?
All right. Dude, now I'm gonna go see if the old men that hang out on the fucking street over here want to go get some chalk and a ball and see if they want to play Foursquare. The only elementary school recess memory I can pull up was when we played kickball and Molly Dupes got hit in the face. Fantastic.
Oof.
That was like,
always hurt.
but that was kind of the best in gym. Just like it's really bad, but it was always hilarious. It was comical when like either the girl or like the unathletic kid just got
the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. Just gets fucking pegged in the face. You feel bad, but you gotta admit it's fucking funny.
It's always funny.
And I've been there, and the balls are even worse.
100, yeah.
Any
Significantly
private
worse.
part, just whew. You're getting rocked. My gym class was always broken up into teams of athletes and nonners. Yeah, like if you're a gym teacher, like you're subconsciously doing that. That's another self-fulfilling prophecy because you're like waiting for something like that to happen, for someone to get hit in the face, because it adds excitement to your life and it's fucking hilarious. Otherwise, you're just like watching like sweaty teenagers like try to be athletic.
Yeah. And like the overcompetitive boys like try to start fights
Yeah, and like jerk each other off.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
"You just think you're so fucking cool because your dad's famous." You know what I mean? And I was like, man, that had nothing to do with it.
He's like,
You
I'm
know
just
what I
nice
mean?
with Foursquare.
I realized then at that moment that like me being like who I am like meant nothing to me, but it meant a lot to other people.
Envy. I love this outfit.
Last night was crazy, just made it home, hoping your number found room in my phone.
What was the first
That's
way you
time
expressed
capsule.
yourself?
Okay, well I started writing bars, rhymes, raps, whatever you want to call it, when I
low-key, Coach Lee was the worst with that. He was always making those super teams.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He was worse than Coach P at it. Because at least Coach P would like admit it at times. You know?
Yeah.
He was transparent. Coach Lee was just being manipulative. And he, like I said, he was just waiting for some of that shit to happen. Never hated because I was always benefiting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was always good. It was fun.
I was 15.
Do you remember what your first bars were?
First things first, man, we talking about the hearse. I got mad gifts, but this verse about the curse. When life stops and the good times cease, Debris aunt and Dice grandma rest in peace. That was the first.
So, if I wrote something at 15, at like, I don't know, he's probably like 33 or something. How old's Chet? I would not remember
Question.
that, like,
No,
off
he
the
totally
cuff.
just wrote that. He definitely just wrote that.
He was born in 1990. He's 31 years old.
Verse I ever wrote.
So you were coming out the gate pretty hard.
I mean,
Damn, I got these bitches shook. Damn, I could read you like a book.
Let's get into White Boy Summer.
Bad gal, white dandada. Rude boy, it's a white boy summer. Bad gal, white dandada. Rude boy, it's a white boy summer.
What is White Boy Summer?
White Boy Summer is me. White Boy Summer is fun, inclusive.
I'm not talking about like Trump, NASCAR type white. I'm talking about, me, John B.
Me.
Jack Harlow.
White Boy Summer is love. It's about the white boys that love black queens. It's the white boys that are tuned into the black girl magic. That's really what White Boy Summer is all about. Just shining a light on interracial relations.
How long have
Oh, I
you
forgot to-
preferred black queens?
As long as I can remember.
Yeah, I might make it squirt. Yeah, let me see a nigga twerk.
White Boy Summer, Black Queen Summer.
So he is
Great
not
answer.
saying the N-word there.
No, I didn't think he was.
For the longest time, because I've listened to the music video outside of this video, I've seen this video like maybe twice now, and every time I thought he was dropping the N-word, but he's saying make it.
Mm.
And it just the way, I mean, he's trying. He always wants to say it. Yeah, no, I know what he's
Sure.
saying now, but like the first couple, a lot of the time that I heard it, and maybe I'm fishing
I'm
for him
sure.
to say it because I know he wants to in some capacity say it.
I'm sure.
Oh, black girl magic is a very real thing.
What is it?
Magic.
Can you describe it with your body
Match.
language? So how do the words work when you speak like the Jamaican patois?
I don't know.
Andrew's gone back and edited that because the first couple times, like you could see like butthole, you could see the bussy hole.
I don't
Amazing.
really know. I just know a little bit. Big up the whole island massive. Jana Star. Big up the youth them. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Make the king go up like 7, up. Book.
What'd you think about the picture of Adele with the Jamaica bra?
Adele. You know, say me a prayer from long time, but after me see a picture of that, it's sweet me.
That was tight.
I'm literally making a conscious effort now to not think or give a fuck at all about what these people are.
That's probably the
possibly
worst. That's
saying
probably
or talking.
It's fantastic for content though.
Oh,
like,
oh.
and like ultimately, who cares what this fucking dumbass does?
No, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
About, and then that kind of created a whole different beast. It's like people like I'll be getting a hair like this
I want
last
to
week,
torture Tom Hanks.
I'm like
with
getting a
this.
haircut.
I want to like
In
tie
Minecraft,
him
in
down to
Minecraft
a
chat.
chair. Yeah, in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Time to a chair and force him to watch it over and over again, Clockwork Orange style.
Oh, that might be his worst nightmare. Just watching all of Chet's content on loop for the rest of his life. Just eyes wide open. Yeah. That's some good shit.
Got a fucked up.
No,
version, I
1v1
guess.
him, Final Destination, Fox only, no items.
No,
My barber's like, dude, so you're Tom Hanks' son, huh? You really Tom Hanks' son? Tell your dad to come in here. And it's like, yeah, dude, for sure.
For
Do you
sure.
actually think I'm gonna tell my dad that? Like, that's the kind of shit me and my dad talk about? But people are so oblivious, dude. They don't even stop to
I
think.
mean, he's right. Like,
yeah, no, he's 100% right about that.
yeah, like,
He said like, you know, a few things that are not wrong.
yeah. For sure. For sure.
About how many millions of times have people told me that? You know what my favorite movie of your dad's is? And I'm like, what? You know, like, Forrest Gump.
Oh shit, that's Tom Hanks' son right there. Yeah, look at him. That's him. He tied it up, getting his workout on. Forrest Gump, it's a classic. On my watch.
What would you do? You see Chet Hanks just like Gorilla Man hitting his body. I love that this dude's
I would
getting.
probably start laughing.
Yeah, this dude's getting content out of it. He's like live streaming it.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. On my line, Tom Hanks' son right here.
So how do you feel about the fact that you just met Tom Hanks' son?
Hey, it's cool as fuck.
Has he seen your music video?
Yeah. I showed my mom and my dad. They were like, this could be this is like a Cardi B. You know what I'm saying?
What are your aspirations for your music career?
Pop off. I'm trying to be doing shows all fucking summer, dude.
Have you written any bars recently that you're hyped about? You can
Okay. Andrew is the best part of this next scene. All right, that's all I want to say. He is the strongest man in the world for sitting here this whole time and not breaking. Prepare yourself.
100%.
Strongest man in the world, Andrew
For us.
Callahan.
I could just spit some freestyle bars.
For sure, that'd be good.
Okay, we're chilling on my balcony. I'm doing an interview with you, Andrew. You know
The
what I'm saying?
Patreon
You're that
version,
dude.
no
You got a
music in the
biker hat
background.
on. What's that about? Is it for the clout? It say Route 66. I pick up sticks. I might pick up your bitch in a fly ass whip. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I might go do some burpees right outside of my shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to get a pack out of 6, like a 6-pack.
Know what I
might
mean?
drink a 6-pack of Stella with a bitch named Bella, because I'm a good fella. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just off the dome, it's off the cuff. I just spitting the truth, no bluff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a must to keep it real. If you're really in the field like Holyfield, you already know the deal. You know what I mean? It's white boy summer, I show the real. You know what I mean? It's not on you, it's in you. You know what I'm saying?
Fighting so
I've been
hard.
a fool, but I've
His
been that
tongue is
dude. You know what I
mangled
mean? I've
after
been that
this.
dude, and I'm just trying to keep it cool.
Just
Laid
biting
back,
it.
You know what I'm saying? Laid back like Pat Sajak. I spun the wheel of fortune. You know what I'm saying? I got a bitch, she's gorgeous. I'm trying to make it to the Forbes list. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling on my porch, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta write it. I just recite it, and every time I recite it, I ignite it. You know what I mean? I ignite it.
He wants feedback
'Cause it's
from
lit.
Andrew,
You
but
know what I
Andrew
mean?
cannot give it to
And
him.
I'm really with the shits.
And we don't give 2 shits.
We don't give 2 shits.
And we about to hit up yo bitch.
We about to pull up with your bitch.
With yo bitch. And 2 sticks.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
At the
how
badminton
freestyles.
club, finna
Yeah,
empty out the
just
clip.
some soy boy shit.
White boy summer on a broke bitch. Come on, man.
Shit, man.
One more time.
Breaking news. Breaking news. You're watching Channel 5.
Define Illuminati.
His car was the freestyle
An
car.
elite cabal of child sex traffickers who control the global banking system.
No.
We're at Venice Beach.
No.
That's Chet. I'm Andrew. He's doing 100 burpees. I can only do 30, but tomorrow I'm gonna do 40.
So give me all of you in exchange for me. For me. Hey, pop that shit up, man. Yeah, come on, man.
You know he just walks around doing that all the time.
I'm sure. God damn, that was great.
Yeah, it's
All right,
fantastic.
I gotta go. I gotta get some dinner.
All right, go eat something.
That was fun though.
Keep me
what a
up
great
on your
interview.
computer so I keep these 3 viewers.
Okay, I will do.
Smokey,
Adios.
see you later, Rick. Smokey, if you're still around, I'm gonna watch some videos for a bit. Or at least one more. Maybe 2. If I could find it. Alright. My dude here is making a bloomin' onion. We're gonna watch it.
Forcing me into. Do I think that we can do it? God, I hope so. Come on. So we're about to show you a really funny skit that we made, but I need to let you know that this upcoming week, I will be on a book tour signing your books. Come and see me, only at these locations currently on these dates. So anyway, without further ado.
It doesn't say what surface to cut this on.
Okay, this can't be right. What am I supposed to be using? A spoon?
Oh, God, does it say anywhere in here that I should be wearing clothes? Who wrote this? This is obviously a joke. But you know what's not a joke? Buying my
For
cookies.
sure.
And the link is in the description.
But if
Thank
someone
you
made
so
it for me,
much.
I would eat
Number
it.
one, across the globe, thanks to you guys. And if you haven't pre-ordered yet, you really should because the...
He's got some pretty good cooking videos. This was like the most recent one that I hadn't seen. I get him at fairs. Yeah. He's like doing like the Outback Steakhouse one, like, and trying to do it better. He's got a lot of videos. Well, he and Babish have done shit together. He does some funny videos as well. I just recently discovered him because I used to be a Babish guy. Oh, you know what? We're gonna watch this one instead.
Everybody stop. The book is out. Link in the description. We worked very hard on this, okay? We did so many things. There's all this stuff we have to clean up. We ate paper. I wiped my butt with my own book. Why? Why did I do that? We did it for you. This...
No!
Demanding a pizza.
Fucking
Everybody
hitting
stop. The book
buttons.
is out. Link it. Who pre-ordered. It'll be at your door very soon. Thank you so
I don't need to see this. I want to see this.
Okay, so today we are making the Doritos Locos Taco, one of the most requested, one of the most famous, really the only requested taco I think I've had. We've done Taco Bell before. We absolutely obliterated them both times, I think. I don't even remember anymore. I mean, really, this is just a regular Taco Bell taco that's in a Dorito taco shell, right? Isn't that it? I don't understand why everyone's so gung-ho about it. It's like, okay, can we find something else more interesting and forward-thinking in food? No? Okay, no? I don't have much else to say other than we're going to dominate this one. So with all that said, let's make this, shall we?
Where the damn Bill at? Maybe if I go around the Jason's Deli like everybody else does. Is there no Taco Bell?
There's a
Is it one
cantina
of- is it
down
a
the
Jason's
street from
Deli
me.
Taco
I have
Bell?
not
We've
wandered
never
in
been
yet.
here before. Why are there so many people just walking around? Go home. You want to see some toxic masculinity real quick?
Tune Up, the manly salon. Because you can't go to a salon and be a dude.
Wow, we found it. Oh, it's so fun playing hide and seek for this. Uh-oh, this Chevrolet has a skull on the back of theirs. It's like Chevrolet. Hey, yo, he's from the manly salon.
Fucking love it.
So we've now been in line for like 5 minutes. This guy is still ordering. I'm almost certain he's reciting the entire Certified Lover Boy album. Like that guy that's on the mic is like, yeah, you going home. Hi, can I just get 4 Doritos Locos Tacos? Also, what is this crispy chicken sandwich? What is
What kind
that?
of car is he driving? Is that a... You got a Mercedes AMG. This is why, Smokey, we need to get into YouTubing. You could be driving Mercedes AMGs.
Also, what did this guy order?
He's already gone. How is that even possible? Thanks much. That bag is colder than the finest air conditioning system on the planet Earth. So we've got the bag. See, I placed it lightly. That way people can be like, you crushed it when you dropped it. Is there a warship going overhead? Like, what is going on? First thing, I just want to talk about the design real quick of the bag. Not bad. They've had this same one since like 1832. At least they're not doing what McDonald's is. God, horrible. So bad. These are ice cold. These are colder than ice.
Okay, well you
That
could,
happens when
you
you
know,
put this in your car?
move to somewhere else as well, or get, you know,
Nothing
a
says bone
Mercedes
apples eat like this in your
G-Wagon.
food, almost completely wrapped in cardboard. Cardboard, mind you, that appears to have been poorly cut by scissors. Do you see this? What is this for?
Hilarious.
Why do they take the time to do this? So this is a Dorito. That's cool. I'm with that. What is this? This is for the sticker. She peeled the sticker off. She went like this. Here you go. Where do I even begin? There's just so many things that are wrong with this. The funny thing is the Dorito
Alright, get a
aspect
G-Wagon.
really shines through. I feel like it's completely overwhelmed with that classic wet lettuce. This is what y'all are all hype about? Johnny, come change the diety. The baby made a mess. Oh, sorry, just a Doritos Locos taco. There's nothing special about this. I don't know why they even created this menu item. It's all about the hype, and we're going to extinguish that.
Wow, here we are making a Doritos Locos taco. Not gonna lie, kind of excited, so let's not waste one single
I'm pretty excited
taco
to see
finger
this.
licking minute.
Oh.
Let's break this down into components. We got the meat, luscious and lovely.
I want
We got the
tacos
taco
now.
shells with a beautifully delicate yet earth-shattering crunch. The lettuce, which is usually a letdown, and of course, Papa's thick cream. Oh, and also the cheese. Can't forget the cheese. Oh, also the tomatoes. Right, forgot about
Nice
those.
salted
Let's first talk about
tomatoes.
my cream. All right, our cream. In a medium bowl, add half a cup or 120
Cream
grams
chat.
of mayonnaise, a third cup or 82 grams
How
of
did
sour
that
cream,
go?
2 teaspoons or 5
Oh, now I want chili. Now I just want like all the ground beef things. Just give me the ground beef. Anyone like do anything weird? Feel like, you know, a Vermont chili off. Someone's coming with something funky. You came in second. Congratulations. What did you make? How did you make it? Explain. Any, you know, don't give away your secrets, but anything interesting? Lost to the venison and bourbon chili. All right. That's fair. That sounds fucking amazing. Especially because that dude probably killed that deer himself. Now I want a venison and bourbon chili. Yeah. Oh, I know.
5 grams of Aleppo pepper, 3 cloves of garlic grated, and salt to taste. Give that a nice little whisk. And that's your cream. Doesn't seem like much, but this is actually one of my favorite chili cremas that we've made. You know what? Actually, let's make this a life lesson. There are times in our day on this earth that less is actually more. Thank you. Optionally, you can put this guy in a squirt bottle. Nice. You like my little weird baggy technique? Let us know what you think in the comments. And while you're down there, buy my book. Literally just...
Does that make, you know, remind you of our Subway days? Squeezing sauces into bottles.
Out like yesterday, and the link is in the description. Thank you so much. Okay, Papa Geese. Next, let's talk. Taco Bell has been known to have the most pitiful ground meat I've ever experienced, so we're gonna take it a step further by grinding our
I'll
own.
never forget those days. They come back to me.
Grams of boneless chuck roast, cut into pieces that will fit into a meat grinder. 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of boneless pork shoulder, and half a pound or 225 grams of any bacon that you like. Combine.
Oh, do you hear what he's making for this ground beef? Do you hear this mix?
Pitiful ground meat I've ever experienced, so we're going to take it a step further by grinding our own. You'll need 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of boneless chuck roast, cut into pieces that will fit into a meat
Nice and
grinder.
fatty.
1.5 pounds or 680 grams
Pork shoulder, get some
pork
fat
shoulder,
there.
and half a pound or 225 grams of any bacon that you like. Combine that all into a bowl and, well, run that through your meat
So
grinder.
much
Of course,
fat.
Like I've said before, if you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, there's no reason you should not have the god-dang attachment for meat grinding. Link in the description if you want. Once that's ground, knead it together like it's a voluptuous dough until it's nicely emulsified. Now, add in 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of chili powder, as in the seasoning, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. Knead that in.
Cinnamon,
Now, in a large
alright.
cast iron skillet, heat up just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan over medium heat. Once that's hot, add in 1 diced onion, hit that with some salt to taste, and saute
There
for
you go.
about 5 minutes, stirring often until softened. Remove that from the pan. Absolutely crank your heat up to medium high, and once it's hot, good lord, Jandis, add in your meat, press firmly to make full pan contact, and let that bad boy sear for about 2 minutes or till nicely brown. Give her a flip and repeat on the other side. Hit that lightly with salt, add your onions back in, and stir that together. Let that continue to cook until everything
That's
is
gonna be
mostly
so
cooked. Then
tasty.
get that ultra fine texture. Use a potato masher to press over and over until you reach fine crumbles. And then once it's completely cooked, turn off the heat, add in 3 cloves
Cat,
of
do
finely
not
chopped
come.
garlic, and add any additional salt and pepper if needed. And that juicy meaty
Ugh.
man is all done. Now for the tomat.
I love a nice, like, drippy hard shell taco. And say one of my big secrets was balancing some maple into the chili to counter the extra heat. Yeah, I like that. And especially, you know, you're in Vermont, you got that nice maple syrup.
It's real easy. First, cut off the top and the bottom of a tomato, a nice big chonky one. Then gently remove the core with your knife, squeeze out any excess seeds. Now from there, you'll dice that bad boy into half-inch cubes, place them on a sheet tray, and season lightly with salt.
Nice.
Toss and let that sit for 10 minutes. And you should have some nice, plump, yet not overly watery tomatoes. Next component is lettuce. Now hold up.
This
Don't
lettuce
think
looks fucking good.
above talking about lettuce. First off, I'm offended. Second off, there's a mind-blowing way to make this better. Maybe mind-blowing might be a bit of an overstatement, but hear me out. Of course, it starts with a half a head of very thinly sliced iceberg lettuce into a bowl, but this is the kicker. Then you're gonna add in a small handful of cilantro finely chopped, the zest of 1 lemon, toss it all together, and while it doesn't seem like much, you now have the world's freshest and most fragrant sliced lettuce in the world. Okay, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, the Doritos Locos Taco Shell. There are layers here, so be patient. The first layer is our birria-flavored beef fat dip. Yeah, now I know your toes just tingled. In a small bowl, combine 1 seeded guajillo.
A beef fat dip. And it's not just beef fat, it's pork fat and bacon fat too. I mean, my heart stopped after my feet tingled because the arteries clogged, but...
chili and 1 seeded ancho chili. Cover that with
I know the
boiling water,
camera's
let
gone.
that
I'm
sit until
doing
softened. Now in a medium-sized
some
cast iron skillet, add
federally
1 pound
illicit
of 450
things.
grams of finely chopped beef fat. Set over medium-low heat and add 2 cinnamon sticks, half a teaspoon or 3 grams of ground cumin. Let that cook, stirring often until most of the fat is rendered out and you have little browned, crispy beef bits. Now turn off the heat and add 5 cloves of garlic that have been crushed but left whole, 3 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of dried Mexican oregano. Stir and let those flavors sit and extract for 7 minutes. In a blender, add your rehydrated guajillo chilies, minus the water. Then strain your beef fat through a mesh strainer and directly into your blender. Blend that on high speed until it's as smooth as you can get it, then press it through another fine mesh sieve, and that right there is a pure unadulterated flavor. Place that guy to the side and let's make our nacho cheese dust. In a medium-sized bowl, add 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of chili powder, 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon or 2 grams of MSG, 2 teaspoons or 7 grams of fine sea salt, half a cup or 80 grams of cheddar cheese powder, which you can get on Amazon, 3 tablespoons or 30 grams of buttermilk powder, then give that a nice little whisk until thoroughly
You can get cheddar cheese dust on Amazon. That's fantastic. I was wondering where he got the dust. I didn't know if he like dusted off individual cheese puffs.
Bind, and that is your seasoning. Okay, we're ready to form our crispy tortillas. Heat a large heavy bottom pot filled halfway with vegetable oil and heated to 365 degrees Fahrenheit. Now look, you don't need a contraption to form taco shells. You can totally just toss in a corn tortilla, fry until it begins to turn a little stiff but it's still malleable, then form it with tongs, hold it down in a taco shape until it holds that shape and is brown and crisp to your liking. Now, I for one want these looking like a god-dang machine made it. So instead, I am going to use some taco shell shapers, so.
Hypocrite. He's such a hypocrite. What the heck?
Now, I tested some tortillas to be totally raw and some that were dipped in the birria flavored fat. Obviously, the birria flavored fat was 10,000 times better, so I would go that route. Take a corn tortilla, dip it into your birria flavored fat, flip, hit the other side, drain the excess, and place on a plate. Then repeat with about 12 to 14 tortillas. Let them sit to soak up all that meaty, delicious
Yeah, rub that in.
flavor. And then you're ready to fry. Place a corn tortilla in that bad boy, then drop them in and fry 2 at a time.
That's cool.
And once they're crisp and beginning to turn golden brown, remove them from the oil, pop them on a wire rack, and immediately dust on all sides with your nacho cheese powder. And once those are done being dusted, place them upside down to finish cooling on a sheet tray and repeat with the rest of your taco shells. This recipe will make about 12 total tacos, so that means you'll need 12 shells. So we're ready. It's assembly time. First, your taco shell, undeniably crisp and dusted like a freshly snow-capped mountaintop.
Beautiful.
Followed by your juicy meat. Really press it down so it fits nice and snug in there. A generous layer of your Aleppo garlic crema. A nice little garden of your fragrant iceberg, followed by as little or as much tomato as you desire. And to top it all off, a
That looks
generous
beautiful.
layer of fresh grated sharp cheddar cheese. Now this to me looks like what a Doritos Locos taco wishes it could be. And really, by comparison, I'd feel bad for the person that would have to eat that Taco Bell tortilla that's literally built like
Like a flaccid penis versus a nice, nice, hard, thick boy.
a rail thin e-boy. That's a joke, e-boys, please. Any e-boys watching, Papa Keys, okay? Now let's see what really lives up to the hype.
So this is what the photo looks like, and then this is what you get. Weird how this actually looks like that.
Oh, that crunch.
Good Lord! There's no competition here at all. There have been a few here and there that were like, oh, this one's better, but you know, not that much better. This is a completely different planet. Make this, it will change your life. My life has been changed. Not really though, because I would never go and order this. The richness of the beef is perfectly seasoned. There's actual flavor in there. The fat, it's juicy, it's
This
rich,
looks
unctuous.
delicious.
The crema provides
This wasn't
some
one of
level
his
cut
best,
to the richness, some
but-
freshness, but there's also a little bit of a right on the And of course,
Food
the
truck
crunch
with
of the
some sick
lettuce, it's not
tacos.
overwhelming. This has
Also a restaurant, the Mad Talk. Yeah, I would love to come up soon. I need some time though. I had Elizabeth and I went to a apple orchard in upstate-ish New York last weekend, and they had like a Mexican woman making tacos right there, and I got one and it was fantastic.
the meaty component that it needs to
Or I got
combat the
3.
lettuce. It's not like a salad in a crunchy taco shell. I'm gonna need to make another one for Mr. Kendrick. Yay, but better.
It always feels weird when I can't see.
Yeah, I know. Anything could go in your mouth. I mean, anything could happen.
Hopefully it's a finger.
Tell me, have you had a Doritos Locos Taco before?
I have not had a Doritos Locos Taco before.
You're about to have one of these that could be a Doritos Locos Taco. This is the worst intro we've ever had for a But Better.
I believe in my
magic. Do you believe in magic?
I do believe in magic.
I don't know how to do this. So hold this hand out, turn it this way a little. Well, no.
If you put a taco in my hand, I feel like I can figure.
Why is your thumb over there and mine is over here?
What are you talking? What? What? Are your
What is
thumbs
going
in
on?
weird places?
I mean, yours are. Jesus, good work. And then numero dos.
I already know this next one's gonna be very disappointing. It's flopping. I felt it flop. First one's so much better. It was so good. Starting off with what I hate about this taco. This Doritos Taco Bell Locos Taco. It's super soggy.
I like that you put Taco Bell in the middle of it. Doritos, Taco Bell Locos.
I don't blame Doritos for what's wrong.
Yeah,
with
I
that.
agree.
This ground beef just kind of tastes like wet meat.
It's slopped up.
I even like your fabricated nacho flavor, Dorito flavor, more than I like this Dorito. So much better.
Okay, here's my last thing. Is that I would,
Look at that fat drip.
it's about the layering of components that come together to make one beautiful thing, greater than the sum of its parts. It combines to create an amalgamation of flavor that you should desire.
I already ate
Doritos
dinner,
Locos
but I'm
Taco. It's
fucking
what it
hungry.
should've always been. That's but better, buddy. Okay, so
All right, fuck your shill. What else we got?
pre-order phases. Ah!
No. YouTube. I got one more video in me. I'm stuffed with chili and mac and cheese and cornbread. I've been craving mac and cheese very badly. Joshua Weissman. I've seen the monkey bread one. That one was fucking good. Fucking love monkey bread. This is it. Making hot pockets at home. No, I'll make it a big one.
I've heard stories about this, mostly horror stories. So not only is this gonna be my first time trying it, but it'll also be my last time because we're gonna beat it.
This would be a great time for those hot pocket emotes.
Okay, wait 1 second. We have something very important coming out soon, so I just want to present something.
Does your mouth have a hard time masticating alone or in front of yourself and or family members? Well, I can't fix that, but I do have a cookbook that you can pre-order. This book is not clinically proven or approved to do really anything. It is just the greatest book of all time. Do not read this book if you suffer
Stop
from
showing your
allergies,
book,
are easily
or
created
give
from
me
oatmeal,
like
and
spots
hate
where I
looking
could
at
jump
informational
to.
content surrounded by beautiful images. This book may contain knowledge, technique, papa's kisses,
I'll let you show.
and a little bit of farting.
For my 4 viewers.
Okay, so today we're making Hot Pockets, but better. I don't know what led us down this road other than the volume of requests to do this. Yet another but better being done against my will. Thank you so much. I guess for those people who've never had one or seen one, it's basically like a lazy calzone, from my understanding. I have nothing else to say about these. Let's just get this over with and make this, shall we?
Wow, we're back at the Mecca, the Megalodon. Is that a word? Oh, wow! I hate being here. Anyway, so I guess we'll go inside.
Dude, I've been in now like 2 mega Walmarts. I've never been in a mega Walmart until my 28th year of life. They're fucking... It's something else. Like, blows the ones that we had in Connecticut out of the water. An empanada. Yeah, no, it honestly is more like an empanada, I think.
pizza. Wait,
Because there's no fresh
so the classic ones, so I've been
ricotta
told,
in it.
are pepperoni. God, this is just a depressing bag. And then what was the other one? Ham and cheese? Oh, we got the value pack. Got it. What is that? Who looks at, like, if you had no context and you just saw this, you're like, oh, yum, bon appetit. So we've got the box. Let me just clarify, I'm not like expecting a world-class 3 Michelin star product, but this is what y'all are hype about? You put these in the microwave? You
I was making a calzone the other night and I actually picked up skim ricotta. It's not terrible.
I'm gonna
Worse
discover it.
things.
Maybe I'll like it. That's not an
I
identifiable
was utterly
smell.
disappointed.
This smells worse than Chuck
I
E.
grew up
Cheese.
with that shit.
This has to smell worse. Wow, they smell identical. How is that possible? Okay, so I guess you've got this little sleeve.
Now I want a hot pocket.
Pocket. Good one, huh? Oh, cook then fold? This is a holster for it? So how do I do this? How is this not right? What are you cooking in the
Full
magical
fat gang.
heating machine? 28 minutes in the oven? Okay, we're microwaving this. Put it on a plate. The magical heating machine. There's a lot of waiting involved. At this point, you could have just Uber Eats something. Nummy, nummy. Oh my. How is it that hot? What's the point of the rest period? Look at this. Look at the steam erupting from this. I'm getting more angry the longer this takes. This is single-handedly the worst bite of food that we've had on this show to date. Doug, nice.
I mean, he's not wrong, but he's also not right. They are fantastic when super stoned and just like, you need some late night snack.
You like that? This one's a little better flavor-wise, but also has a nice undertone of burnt plastic. Thank you very much. I have nothing else to say. This has been a long one. We're gonna do this, hopefully better.
If he understood the fundamentals of how a microwave works, he'd understand why it was that hot. I mean, sure, but like you know, I think it's less that and more that the box tells you that, however long you put it in and then you let it cool for a minute, that you should be able to eat it. So if this is your first time ever eating a Hot Pocket, like you would be amazed at, how hot the recommended, eating time is. I'm still amazed. It should be like let cool, I mean, you're playing that weird game. It's a great event for it. Again, this is his first Hot Pocket.
Alright, folks. I tried 2 different dough versions here. First version was an ultra flaky pie crust, which was dope and delicious, but also significantly more annoying to handle when shaping because pie crust is so delicate. And a slightly faster
Need to let
homemade
the steam
route, I think
escape.
the second dough, which was Papa's Puff Pastry, was the winner here. Good job, pal. Obviously, you can either buy the puff pastry, which if you do, I recommend do 4, or of course you can use my recipe for homemade puff pastry, and the link is in the description. Which, look, I get it. It takes a lot of time to make, and guess what? It's better. No surprises there. All right.
I hate
Now that we have that
pastry
out of the way,
dough,
let's make our
period.
fillings. And don't worry, we'll jump back to the dough in just a moment. First is our
Honestly, to be honest, this is I'm going to show you the closest thing to a Hot Pocket. This is honestly, except that like a lot of times you eat it cold, but this is like the closest thing to what a Hot Pocket is. It's just cheese. Usually it's my family does a spicy crust. Everyone's is different because it's just a Italian like, peasant holiday food where you take all of your scraps and just fucking throw it in there. So, like this one has a fucking egg in it. I would never eat that. I hate fucking hard-boiled eggs. This is repulsive. This one looks most like my family's, or maybe even this one. But again, we do a pepper crust. But like mixture of food-wise, and then what the stuffed pizza is just 2 pieces of crust around the pizza. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. But like, if we're gonna trace a Hot Pocket to its origins, like this is kind of the closest thing we've got. This one, look, do they do a pastry? Yeah, see, they make a pastry one. We don't make a pastry filling. in my family, or a pastry crust. It's more of a peppery pizza dough crust. This is my least favorite one. When people do sliced and then just ricotta, that's just fucking disgusting to me. But so my family's will like, kind of look like this inside. It's like ham, peppered ham, cabagol, excuse me, salami, pepperoni, basket cheese. We don't use ricotta, and then provolone, like gabagool. Yeah, see, like this is disgusting, absolutely disgusting. No, we put egg in ours too, and this one probably has egg as well for the filling, but it's just like more like a scrambled egg, not like this fucking. This is disgusting. Okay, we'll go back to. I don't know where it is, making Hot Pocket.
Pepperoni pizza filling. This is already an atrocity to Italian cuisine, so let's make something a little bit different. First, you'll start off with 3 ounces or 85 grams of guanciale. Dice that into nice and evenly cut 1/4-inch cubes. Toss that into a medium saucepan. Optionally, a light drizzle of extra virgin olive oil to help get it going. Set that to medium heat and let that cook until their fat is fully rendered and you get nice little brown crispy bits. From there, you'll add 5 cloves of garlic, very thinly sliced. Let those cook in the guanciale fat, stirring often until they are.
It looks like he, Goodfellas style, slice those with the razor.
Toasted and golden brown. Very underrated thing. Toasting garlic, just do it more often. Do it for papa. Follow that up with fresh cracked black pepper. Let that toast a touch. 1 tablespoon or 5 grams of finely chopped rosemary. Cook for 10 seconds. Then add in 1 6-ounce or 170-gram can of tomato paste. Stir that together. Fill up that same 6-ounce can to the brim with water. Add that to the pan. Stir together and let that simmer for about 2 minutes. Once that's done, hit that with 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of sugar and salt to taste. Finally, add 3 tablespoons or 45 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. Stir that together until emulsified and thoroughly combined. And at this
Very
point,
oily
your
sauce.
is done and it should be Look, it's far from a traditional tomato sauce, I'm aware of that, but it's absolutely maxed out with deep flavor.
Yeah, I'm sure. All the
Now, for
fucking
cheese,
oil.
You're just going to mix 1.5 cups or 190 grams of fresh grated low moisture mozzarella and 3/4 of a cup or 73 grams of fresh grated grana padano or parmigiano cheese. That was a good one, right? Good pronunciation there. Parmigiano papa. Look, don't make me have the grating.
It's a parmigiano.
Just grate your cheese fresh. So grate your cheese or don't, and also don't receive a kiss from. Last but not least is the pepperoni. You'll need about 1 cup or 150
look
grams
at
of
that.
pepperoni that's been sliced about 1/2 inch thick.
It's
Yes,
so sexual. It's so unnecessarily sexual, and it makes it so funny.
A mix of pepperoni and salami. The salami was sliced into coins, then quartered, and the pepperoni was sliced into coins and then halves, thus creating a pepperoni textural wonderland for the people. That does it for the pep pizza filling. Now, for the ham and cheese filling, it's even easier. Start off with 1/2 cup or 40 grams of prosciutto that's been diced roughly. Heat up a small saucepan with just barely enough vegetable oil to coat the bottom. Heat that over medium-high until hot, absolutely boiling. Add in your prosciutto and let them fry for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring occasionally until they're brown and crisp.
Delicious.
Drain
That
off
looks
the filling,
delicious.
you've got that crispy prosciutto
Oh.
rolling. Of course, you'll also need 1 cup or 145 grams of ham that's diced into 1/2-inch cubes. Pretty straightforward there. Now, for the cheese, we're not just doing 1, 2, or even 3 cheeses. We're doing 5, buddy.
Ooh.
1 ball or 130 grams of scamorza, grated. 1 cup or 126 grams of provolone, grated. 1 cup or 126 grams of smoked cheddar, grated. 1/2 cup or 48 grams of Parmigiano Reggiano, and 1/2 cup or 70 grams of raclette, which hopefully also grated. Toss that together, and that's your big little pants man. Okay, assembly time. First, get yourself a single recipe batch of either my puff pastry or 2 bags of
5 di formaggio.
Pull that bad boy out until it's 12 inches by 10 inches and 1/4 of an inch thick. Then first cut that into strips that are around 3.5 inches wide.
Oh, you know what I did not talk about that I should have talked about when with Rick here, and this reminded me, and after this we're gonna have to go there, and I'm gonna have to vent about how Chris Pratt is playing Mario. I don't know if you get Cabot cheese. Yeah, we do. But you ever see the Cabot mac and cheese blend? You gotta grab it. It's like some sort of Alpine cheddar, crazy good. I'll look out for that. We do get Cabot cheese. Cabot's one of my favorites of like a store bought like mass produced cheese.
nice, relatively evenly shaped bars. It's okay if they're a little uneven because we're gonna trim them later anyway, but yeah. Now to fill these, get a piece of dough, brush the edges with egg wash consisting of 1 egg beaten with 1 tablespoon or 14 milliliters of heavy cream. Now, layering is very important. First, add a nice layer of sauce, followed by a layer of cheese, then your pepperoni.
Yeah, it
You
is
should cover
top tier.
this evenly, but don't overfill it. Then another layer of sauce, more cheese, grab another piece of dough, and carefully place it on top, and gently but firmly seal the edges completely. Please, if they're not sealed, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna be
busted open.
And in this case, you won't be
Want to be a quality
Then using
engineer
either a
for
knife
them.
or a fluted ravioli cutter, trim the edges so they're clean and straight. Then just repeat that with the rest of your desired amount of peppy hot boys. Next, ham and cheese filling. Of course, brush the border around your piece of dough, then cheese, then ham, followed by your crispy prosciutto, and you guessed it, more cheese. Top that with another layer of dough, seal the edges, trim them beautifully and lovingly. Place all those bad boys on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper as you go, giving them at least an inch of space apart. Then cover that brother with plastic wrap and let it chill in the fridge for 15 minutes. Also, don't skip this because it's essential for puff pastry to get a little chilly time in the fridge. Once you're ready to bake and your oven is preheated to 375 Fahrenheit, brush the tops of your pastries with that same egg wash. Optionally, poke a couple holes into the top of the pastry using a cake tester to allow a little air to escape and keep them from exploding. Then finally, pop them into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Now wait a damn minute. While those are baking, if you really want to make this extra special, then I'd recommend making a quick herb butter by getting the cutest little saucepan ever. Adding a 1/3 cup or 78 grams of unsalted butter, 2 sprigs of rosemary cut in half and lightly bruised, 3 to 4 garlic cloves crushed and left in their skin. Pop that onto the stove, set to medium-low and let that heat until fully melted. Then just leave that on to heat for about 5 minutes or until infused with flavor.
What are we doing with the herb butter?
Pull it off the stove and set to the side. Now once your pastries are done and come out as a beautiful golden brown, hit them with a nice brushing of herb butter and a beautiful sprinkle of flaky salt. Now these aren't just hot pockets. These are a crafted pastry full of culinary passion and wonder. Now we just need to put them next to the coveted hot pocket and see how
That's
they taste.
amazing.
So let us taste test. So visually, these are a little shorter, but it's not always about length. Sometimes it's also about girth. I mean, sounds like I'm flicking a soccer ball. Now, what do these sound like? Let's give that a sound test. You already know they'd be flaking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my clothes off right now. The entire team's like, hang on, we have to leave. This is like instantaneously better. I have nothing else to say about that. It's buttery, rich, intense flavor. This is almost reminiscent to like a really good ham and cheese.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Lord have mercy. Have mercy on my soul. Don't beat me up yet. Back to earth. First impressions are everything.
Good
and my
editing.
first impression of these was horrible, and so was the last impression of it, because I will not be having them again. We've won this episode, but we cannot decide that until we have our taste tester of the day. Kendrick, please. Mama? So, pep numero uno. Oh, you wanna?
Were you going?
I'm happy with Okay.
That was like my dad getting fucking communion at church. He would do it the old school way. Wouldn't do the hand over hand getting the host, the Christ checks. He would do the old fashioned way where you can't touch it and you just have to. But you know, my dad would more just do. So the fucking priest was like trying to put it in a coin slot.
For a second. Everybody remember what the ABCs are like.
This is actually kind of hard to chew.
The joke's on you. That was my poop. All right.
More poop, please.
Here's number 2. Number 2.
Oh, it's so good.
Number 1, the first one or the second one?
The second one's so much better.
This is not a win until we get a 2 out of 2. A, B, C. Wow, don't bite my fingy. Number 2, ham and cheese.
Tastes like cheese whiz. I can. What?
Wow.
Man, I've never hated Hot Pockets as much as I do right now.
I thought you said you liked them.
I did. And then I just had these. God, the original Hot Pockets are so much worse in comparison. They're just like dry. There's not a lot of flavor. Tastes like cheese whiz. Yours, on the other hand, that garlic and herb butter like leagues ahead. It's incredibly
Chris is very
savory.
confused.
It was like the perfect amount of salt.
when
It felt
I
good to have in my mouth.
passed up on taking the
That's still
biscuit
in
thing.
one piece.
Yeah.
We're the winners yet again, but better. We're just getting bag after bag.
I'm sorry.
Finalization, we already know we've won this episode of But Better. Taste the original and you said
All right. We don't need to see the rest of this, but I'm just gonna put this up on screen. We're gonna look at this and then just get angry. This man, this fucking chud, playing the Mario. This is fucking Italian erasure. This white man is playing a person of color. Jack Black as Bowser's. Like, pretty much every other casting decision was great except for Chris Pratt, and he just ruins the rest of the cast. He is not funny unless he is playing Andy from Parks and Rec, and then he's just doing like stupid fall down comedy. He's not funny otherwise. He's not even that good as Star-Lord. And again, just Italian erasure. This is a white man playing a POC character. This is the only man that should be playing Mario. And I'm also very pissed. This person tweeted this after me, and I pretty much had the same tweet, and then this one, he has less followers than me, and then it popped off. But he's not an evil man. You know, that's why he can't play Wario. He is like a cool bass dude, and, you know, he could play the anarcho-communist Mario. Wario, you know, can't fill that role. And Steve Buscemi is the only one that should play Waluigi. I honestly don't know who should play Wario. Maybe John Goodman as Wario. See what happens. See, look, John Goodman as Wario. Why does Miguel pop up? And casting Miguel as Wario and that's fucking crazy. That's some psychotic shit. But I'm gonna end it on that, on my anger around this Chris Pratt casting of Mario, the erasure of Italian culture, a white man playing a POC character, passing up on this kind, you know, wonderful gentleman, Danny DeVito, a real Italian man playing Mario. It's devastating. So thank you all for joining me. Oh, I gotta fix this over here. We're gonna delete that for now. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that. Thank you all for joining me. Everyone that stopped by. I think we may have gotten the viewers up into affiliate range. We're still one follow away from the 50 needed. But thank you all for coming. Smokey, I will speak with you tomorrow. And everyone else, have a good night.